everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play the lead line from Rockstar by DaBaby on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something you want to learn. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, that way you never miss out on another new tutorial, and also follow me on Instagram for your chance to win a free lesson with me. Alright, so I've zoomed in a little bit so we can get a closer look at the guitar. Before we start, there is something I want to mention is for this little lead line, I will be using a lot of D minor and D chord shapes. So if you're not familiar with those or you feel like that's going to make your hand uncomfortable, go ahead and practice those first, because this whole thing does rely on you being able to comfortably put your hands or your fingers in those positions. And also this tutorial is going to be how to play this lead line without a capo. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with that very first little chord shape there. What I want you to do is take your middle finger and place that on the 8th fret of the G string. Then take your ring finger and put that on the 9th fret of the B string, right next door. Then take your first finger or your pointer finger and put that on the 7th fret of the high E string. Alright, so it sounds like this. And that's going to be our first little chord shape. So now with your right hand, what I want you to do is when we're picking, your thumb is always going to be on this G string. Your pointer finger is always going to be on the B, and your middle finger is always going to be on the high E. So for all of these chord shapes in this whole lead line, we're only staying on these 3 strings for the whole thing. That means your right hand can always stay the same, okay? So your thumb, pointer, and middle are always going to be on the top 3 strings. Alright, so this is our very first chord. As you can see, it's that D minor shape. So what we're going to do is just pick these 3 strings. Alright, so then from here, let's go ahead and go into the next chord. What I want you to do is take your first or pointer finger and put that on the 11th fret of the G string. Then you're going to take your ring finger and put that on the 12th fret of the B string. And then your middle finger is going to go on the 11th fret of the high E string. Alright, and so this is our next little chord shape. As you can see, it's kind of the same as like a D chord. And what we're going to do now is the same thing. You're just going to take your thumb, pointer, and middle finger and pick these 3 strings once. Alright, so now let's go into our next chord shape. What you want to do is keep your hand in this D chord shape and just slide your hand down to the correct frets, which is going to be our 6th, 7th, and 6th fret. So what I mean by that is your pointer finger is going to be on the 6th fret of the G string. Your ring finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the B string. And then your middle finger is going to be on the 6th fret of the high E string. Alright, and again, you're just going to pick that once, all 3 of those strings. And then again, keep your hand in this D chord shape and slide down 2 more frets. And so now your pointer finger is on the 4th fret of the G string. Your ring finger is on the 5th fret of the B string. And your middle finger is on the 4th fret of the high E string. Alright, and again, you just pick that once. So now the trick to being able to play this little lead line kind of quickly is I like to think of my left hand, I like to think of like anchor fingers is what I call them. And so that way when you're sliding around on the fret of the guitar, you kind of have like a goal that you're, visually keeping an eye out. And I feel like that is what helps me be able to slide around the guitar a lot faster. Now everyone's like anchor fingers or whatever you want to call them is going to be different. For me, I'll tell you what I like to keep an eye out for. So on my D minor chord shape, since my middle finger is the closest to, I guess, the top here of the guitar, I like to make sure that my middle finger is on that 8th fret of the G string. And then so once my middle finger is there, I feel like my other 2 fingers just kind of fall into place. So like when I'm sliding around, this is going to be my anchor finger and then the other fingers go into place. All right. And then with my D chord, since our fingers change a little bit, now my anchor finger is going to be my first finger, because again, that's the finger closest to the like top here of the strings. And so I'm just going to keep an eye out for this finger. So when I'm going from the D minor chord shape into the D, the thing I'm visually keeping an eye out for is my first finger. So right here, we've got the D minor chord shape. Then I always take my first finger and put that where it needs to go first. And then again, my other fingers just kind of follow because I'm used to that D chord shape. So this is just a little piece of advice in case sliding around the neck of the guitar is new to you. This is something that helps me. I don't know if it'll help you, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. So we've got our D minor chord shape, and then I go to our D chord shape. Then again here, since we don't have to move our actual hand for the rest of this little lead line, all you have to do now is focus on where you're sliding it to. So again, I'm focusing on my first finger and I'm gonna slide it to where it needs to go, which is going to be the 6th fret. And then again, I'm just keeping an eye on this, sliding it to my 4th fret. If this is new, again, it's going to take some practice, but basically you pretty much have the lead line as far as where your fingers are going to go. And again, with our right hand, we're just picking those top 3 strings. So we've got our D minor chord shape, then our D chord shape, then go down to the 6th fret, then the 4th fret. All right, and then you're going to do that twice. All right, good. So once you've done that twice, now we're gonna do the exact same thing with our left hand, go back to the exact same chord shape, but with our right hand, we're gonna do a little bit more picking, all right? So what you're gonna do now is with your thumb, pointer, and middle finger on the G, B, and E string, you're gonna go thumb, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer, middle. All right? So you're just going from the lowest to the highest twice, all right? Then you would switch to your next chord, which is our 11th and 12th frets. The picking hand is exactly the same. So we've got thumb, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer, middle. Except on this chord, we're actually going to play through it 3 times. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then come back around and pick that bottom string one more time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, thumb. Then from here, slide down to your next chord shape. And then this is gonna be just twice. So we're gonna go thumb, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer, middle. Again, that's just twice. 1, 2. All right, then you slide down to your last little D chord shape there on the 4th fret. And this is gonna be played 3 times again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then come back and pick that thumb one more time. So let's go ahead and go through that whole thing again. We've got our D minor chord shape on the 7th, 8th, and 9th frets. And again, we're just picking this. Thumb, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer, middle. Go to your next little D chord shape on 11th and 12th frets. Thumb, pointer, middle, twice. 3, thumb only. Go to your next chord, you slide down. Again, twice. Thumb, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer, middle. And then slide down one more time and do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pick that thumb one more time. All right. So not too bad. It is going to take a little bit of practice sliding around the neck of the guitar, but the rest of this is pretty simple. So let's go ahead and do that one more time without stopping. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thumb. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thumb. All right. One more time. Good, and that is the whole lead line. It repeats itself over and over again through the whole song. Again, a piece of advice I have if you're not used to sliding around the neck of the guitar is to just focus on one finger, which I like to call the anchor finger, and then if you're used to doing that D chord, it'll kind of just like follow you around all the way around the guitar. Hopefully, I'm not sure if this advice is helpful, but hopefully it helps somebody out there. So let's go ahead and do this one more time and speed it up a little. And then again, one of the trickier things is going to be going from this D chord shape back to the beginning and doing that D minor chord shape. So definitely take some time to practice that transition. Okay? So let's play it all together back at the beginning with our picking at the beginning. And I do feel like throughout the song, with your right hand, you can either pick all 3 strings at the same time, or if you'd prefer, you could actually just take your thumb and rake across the 3 strings. I feel like in the song, he kind of plays it both ways. So either one, will work, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. So let me do it one time for you at tempo so you can hear what that sounds like. So now obviously the speed is something that you're gonna have to practice slowly at first and then just kind of speed it up as you get more used to where your fingers go and things like that. But anyway, that is how you play the entire lead line. And again, it does repeat itself throughout the song. So I hope this was helpful to you and hopefully you can have fun playing that now. All right, so that was my quick little tutorial for how to play that lead line from Rockstar. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below as well as to subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss out on another new tutorial. One last little plug, if you liked the shirt I was wearing in this video, this is my Together Forever shirt. You can find this along with a lot of other different designs in my merch store linked down below as well as in the description. So thank you so much for watching and I hope it helped you and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.